How's it going, folks? So today I'm going to be talking about the new upcoming album from the band Winterage. The name of this album is Nekyia, and it comes out this Friday, July 7th. But y'all know it by now. Before I get into that nitty gritty, let's check out the cover. So boom, there it is. Cool cover. Cool cover. I love the colors, and it looks just really epic. It's like this landscape is almost I'm not sure if it's like rock or whatnot, but it all looks like it's kind of almost being pulled up toward the sky. And I don't know, it's like almost like a cavern or something like that. But there's this almost looks like lightning in the back and this like smoke, and there's beams of light coming down. And it just looks really neat. And again, I love the colors, like the reds and the browns kind of in the bottom, and then up at the top is kind of a bluish, dark blue. In the middle, you got the beams of light, and then that light blue, almost like a turquoise in the back. It just looks like this epic kind of landscape, this almost like epic kind of chaotic sort of, I don't know, like just, it looks powerful. Like whatever is happening in there, it just looks really powerful. This tumultuous storm or something like that. So I really dig it. It's definitely eye-catching. You really want to kind of look at it close and inspect it. And again, the colors really draw you in. And the way they have the band name at the bottom, Winterage, with the tree kind of growing out of it, and the album title, Nekyia, down there. So yeah, I definitely dig this cover. It's the type of thing that I could see as a really cool painting, like up on the wall. So yeah, I dig it aesthetically. As far as does it properly convey the music contained on the album, like if you're at the record shop, you're looking through and you see this, you never heard the band before, but you're like, oh, that cover looks cool. Would you have an idea of what style of music it is? It's another case where it's hard to say. I feel like this cover, the way it looks, it could go multiple different ways. It could definitely go symphonic metal, but I feel like it could also go kind of like a melodic death metal, or black metal, maybe going a little too far because you can actually read the name of the band. But but it has a very dark look to it. Maybe even doom metal. Definitely you would think in the metal vein, but whether it's more of a heavier kind of death or doom metal style, or more of like a symphonic epic metal style, it's a little hard to say. But it fits. It fits the sound on the album. But if you're just going into it blind, it would be tough to know based off this cover alone. I probably would actually even lean towards more of a death metal just based off of the cover. But still, cool cover. It does fit the sound. So, it is what it is. But anywho, now about the album itself. This bad boy's got 10 tracks on here. Comes in at about 48 minutes. So great amount of tracks and a great length of time. I always tell folks that's kind of the sweet spot for me for an album length, like 45 to 50 minutes. You get 10 tracks, so it's a really nice length and amount of tunes that you get on here. And what you're gonna get here, folks, is just some epic symphonic power metal. And when I say epic, I mean epic. And I'm gonna come right out the gate here and just say this album is an absolute masterpiece. I was not disappointed. The singles leading up to it, Simurgh the Firebird and the Cult of Hecate, at least the music videos. They did release another single too, but not with the music video. I forget which one was the other single. But yeah, it just absolutely incredible. Those two music video singles really set the bar high and got me stoked for this album. So my expectations were literally through the roof, and this album delivers, wholeheartedly delivers in every aspect. The whole album is as good as those singles, and it maintains that high quality of the bar that it set with those singles. And I was just blown away, absolutely blown away. It just, the orchestrations, the heaviness of some of the guitar work, the vocals, the structure and layout of the songs, the grand scope of the album and the sound. It's just so epic and somewhat theatrical in spots. You get some great instrumental moments. Some feel very kind of classical based, others feel a little folk based. Others feel almost like a movie soundtrack kind of cinematic almost. There's just so much going on here. There's epic choirs and it's all put together so well. And there's so much happening, but it just put together so well. This is like luxury power metal here, folks. It's put together with such, it's so expertly crafted and lovingly crafted. It's like fine artwork. That's why I say this is like luxury power metal here. I mean, this is top-notch stuff. Truly, I was just blown away. I was kind of actually sad when I listened to it multiple times before I wanted to sit down and do this review. And once I was done, I knew I had to move on to some other albums because I listened to a ton, of course. And I was kind of sad. I was kind of depressed because I was like, I have to move on to other albums now. I can't keep just listening to this. So that's how much I loved it. And it's just epic. Again, the orchestrations, the symphonic elements are just incredible. The vocals, he's got such a awesome, like operatic kind of deep sort of voice, but then he also can hit those really high kind of power metal style notes. There's grand choirs. There's some female backing vocals at times, all in this landscape of just epic orchestral symphonic music. And then the guitars do not take a back seat. They're right up there in the forefront, and they help provide kind of, a heaviness to the sound. There's some great riffs, great guitar work. The drums are thundering and really giving that oomph, to the sound and that backing, the backing beat that just really pulse pounding, for the music. All the musicianship is just stellar, and it's all put together so well. The structure of the songs, again, it really so organically flowing. The structures are not like your typical cookie cutter structures and layouts of the songs. It all just really has this epic cinematic kind of quality and almost, in a classical vibe of where, it's through movements. It's not so much of like where it's verse, chorus, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, like a standard song setup. This all has much more of kind of a classical sort of opera theatrical kind of setup where it just all moves organically and it's just woven together so well from beginning to end. It's just an experience. Starts out with Apertio ad Profundum, and it's a great intro track. It really kind of sets the mood, kind of dark, and you get some choirs in there, and it just great intro to what's to come. And then of course after that you get Simurgh the Firebird and the Cult of Hecate. Track 4, Numen, and track 8, White Leviathan, are the two tracks that I say have the most folk kind of influence. There's even some kind of Irish jig-worthy type moments in both of those songs. It's just so sick. Track 6, you got La Fonte de Senza, which is, I would say that's like the ballad of the album, and it's grand, it's operatic, it's just epic. Track 7, Dark Enchantment, is one of my favorite songs on here. Great beat, great rhythm, it's dark. If I'm not mistaken, this song too, as it goes towards the end, it even has a bit of a Danny Elfman-ish kind of vibe to it. There's a playfulness to a lot of the dark moments in this album and just in general, and it lends itself to that kind of Danny Elfman sort of gothic, dark, playful kind of vibe, and it's just stunning, absolutely stunning. Track 9, Metamorphosis, a Macabre ritual, is super sick. This is a song, as it starts out really dark. I mean, it's called the Macabre ritual, for goodness sake, but towards the end, it takes on a real kind of classical vibe with a lot of instrumentals, and it's just wonderful. And it all just, it all just, what's the word I'm looking for? It all just, the final track, track 10, Resurrectio ad Mundum, is just a great way to just end out the track and, or the album, and kind of a symphonic, if I'm not mistaken, got female vocals in this song, and then it becomes somewhat instrumental, and it just really eases out the album. And the whole thing just feels like this grand, epic, orchestral, symphonic, power metal production. It's truly an experience. It's a masterpiece. I love this album from beginning to end. There's not a moment I dislike. I was super impressed, and my expectations were through the roof. And it delivers, absolutely delivers. This, I can safely say, is an album not to miss. Do not miss this album. It's definitely up there with one of the best of the year so far, and I'm pretty darn certain it's going to wind up still being in the top mentioned albums for the whole year on every list. You know, every list that's worth its salt is going to be listing this bad boy near the top, because it is just phenomenal. It just so epic, so epic. As I said, is like luxury power metal here, expertly and lovingly crafted to perfection. Exquisite. So yeah, nothing bad to say about this thing at all. It delivers on every front. Do not miss it. Really blew me away. Can't get enough of it. And anytime I have some spare time, I'm going to go back and listen to it again, because it really is a remarkable piece of art here, a masterpiece of symphonic power metal. They've really outdone themselves here with this album. So yeah, check it out. As I said, this bad boy from Winterage, their new album, Nekyia, coming out this Friday, July 7th. Do not miss it. Incredible. Loved it. Once you've all heard it, let me know in the comments down below. What did you think of this thing? What did you think of this album? And if you haven't heard it, yet, let me know, how stoked are you for this album? And if you're stoked, you will not be disappointed. And I always tell you folks, if you're like, well, tell me one song. If I haven't heard any song yet, tell me one song to listen to determine if I want to listen to the whole album or not. I would say go with track 2, Simurgh the Firebird. It was released as a single, and it really represents the whole album very, very well. So if you love that, which I'm certain you will love the album. Simple as that. Simple as that. Anywho, that's what I got for you folks here. Do not miss this thing when it drops this Friday, July 7th. And I'll catch you all next time. Ranger.